Hey, it's Dave with an update on the Texas Freedom Farm. As you can see behind me, we got all of the ribs up for the greenhouse. So that was good. Thanks to Gary, my neighbor across the street, and Jason and Matt. From Matt, he came and the four of us knocked it out. It was a lot of work. It was heavy. It was kind of top heavy too. And but we got it done, and hopefully tomorrow we're gonna get the purlin along the top. So it is 99 degrees out here right now with a heat index of 118, and I feel really bad because the Morton Building people came and started putting up the Morton Building. So Morton is a company that builds sheds and farm buildings and things like that. There's one on the farm up in Nebraska, and it's basically been standing for about 70 years. So I figured they're pretty good. So, I had them come out and do something that I'm not doing myself. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Some of the stuff I'm doing on this farm is because, I retired from another job. So I had a little money saved to do some of this stuff. You don't have to do all this stuff to get a farm started. But I'm close to 50 years old. Next year I will be 50. And I wanted to make things as easy and streamlined as possible so that I can actually make a success out of this. So I'm putting a little more money into this than maybe you probably have to in order to start something like this. But I also, bought some equipment. It needs to go in somewhere and be safe and out of the elements. So if you can hear, that's our hawks. I love having hawks around here because they like to eat the things that like vegetables. So I'll do everything I can to keep hawks and owls around here as much as possible. So, but there's lots of hawks, especially some of the kind that like to eat grasshoppers too. So that's kind of cool. So I'm starting to sweat. I just wanted to show what was going on here today and yesterday. Hopefully Monday they'll have the framing and everything all done, and then a concrete crew will come out and pour the slab. That's one of the cool things about Morton is they put in these footers. I'll see if I can flip the camera around here. All right, so we're flipped around. I'll show you kind of what they're doing. So they build these concrete footers. They go into the ground, they're cemented down there, and then they've got the brackets where the piers sit on top of, so they're out of the water. Well, eventually, once this is all done, they're gonna come in later with a concrete pad that's cemented to those piers. So it's really a really good way of building a building. It keeps everything tied together and very strong. As you can see, there's a truss roof construction. Very strong unless you have a fire, and then that's bad. But I guess that's most buildings. So they thought it was only going to take a couple days, but because of the heat, they haven't been able to work as long as they wanted to. I think they left around 1 o'clock today, and that was the height of when it was so hot out here. So as you can see, they got their equipment out here still, and a big junk pile and stuff that goes on the building. They actually cleaned up a lot. There was stuff all over here, so they're keeping the place nice and clean, which is nice. I couldn't recommend them enough. Obviously they're not sponsoring this show in any way. I don't have sponsors. I have like a few people that watch once in a while. But I'm pretty proud of what this looks like. It's a little closer to the well than I wanted. Originally the well was going to go over there where that stake is, but it was so wet there that they asked if they could move it in closer, and I said that's fine. I did want this building to be a little bit further towards the well because we still haven't built the cooler. The cooler is going to be smaller than it was now, though. I do want to keep this area right between where the cooler is going to be there and here where the building is. I want this area to be clear because I want to be able to drive a side-by-side through here so that when I need to get back here to where the wash station is going to be, I want to be able to do that with the vehicle, so I can easily load and unload stuff. So I think it'll work. I think as long as I keep the cooler a little bit closer to the building that we built than I wanted it to, as long as I have a little bit of space there to work, I think it'll be fine. Hopefully soon we'll get this wood pile, and well, this is some of the greenhouse stuff, so that'll be gone once we get all that on the greenhouse. The wood pile and the siding, I don't want that to sit out in the elements too long. It's already been out here way too long. But once we got this building up, I plan to have some of that put in there, so that'll be good. So it's gonna be a roll-up door. I'm not really sure why they haven't put in the door that goes on the side yet. So there's gonna be an actual, you know, door that I can go in without opening the garage door, and they have not framed that out, and I'm a little bit concerned about that. Jason mentioned it earlier, and I'm just assuming that they're going to put it in eventually, so we'll see how that goes. We talked about it just yesterday, so he knows that it's coming in. Originally it was going to go on the right side, but because I wanted to keep that area clear, I asked him to put it on that left side. So he knows. We made a note about it, we talked about it, so I don't know if I should mention it or not, but I might if they start not putting it in. So, well, it's paid for, so they'll have to fix it if they don't put it in, I guess. So anyway, that's an update on the farm. You see, I got lots of organic matter being grown in the back, otherwise known as weeds. Some of these weeds are not really the kind I want, because they are the kind that are hard to kill. But this seems to be working pretty good, and my tarp method. And then we'll use some cardboard underneath the compost when we put it in. So hopefully the weeds will be relatively low to start with, and we'll keep up on it. We're going to start, once this is done, and move those into the building. We're going to put the other tarp down next to it and start getting that all down. The bees seem really happy. They're over there, a little bit shaded now. And I'm gonna get a bush hog one of these days soon, once I got this done, so I could put, I need to take the backhoe off and put the bush hog on, so I can go around and mow this all down. Maybe I'll make a video showing how to do that, because that'll be fun. It's a little bit of, it's not too hard, but it's a little bit of a, you know, you have to figure out how to do it right. And there's lots of videos online about it. I'm sure mine will not be the best one. All right, anyway, that's the update here on the farm, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye.